Viewers. What's up,
Yeah.
everyone? This is the Fraser LeVay podcast with Jared Quay, comedian, Miami superstar, legend, and we're talking sports, maybe Jay-Z. I want to get your thoughts on that. But where do you want to start? Do you want to start NBA Cup, NFL, college football playoff, or Jay-Z?
We're not going to talk about Jay-Z. I think we're bringing unwanted attention as black people. We can't talk about Jay-Z. They're trying to, it's a secret plot by the Illuminati, who people think Jay-Z's in, to take out all the black billionaires. They just want to show black people the sky. You know, they say sky's the limit. The limit is $1 billion for black people. So Jay-Z was a billionaire. They're trying to get rid of him. Diddy was a billionaire. Trying to get rid of him. Kanye hit a Billy. Trying to get rid of him. And so, yeah, at that point, man, they taking out black billionaires. So we're not talking about Jay-Z. Jay-Z's innocent, and we don't want to bring no attention of negative energy. He's put together the best Super Bowl halftime shows in the last 5 years than anyone before. Before he was on it, they were bringing The Who and Bruce Springsteen. Like nobody wants to see 70-year-old Bruce Springsteen, man.
No.
He brings us Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars.
I hate Bruno Mars, but I agree with everything you said about Bruce Springsteen and The Who and all that nonsense.
I would have never guessed you hated Bruno Mars. To me, it just seems like you're out there cutting rails with 24 Magic.
That's probably the worst song of all time. I think that might be one of my least favorite songs of all time.
I hate to talk so plain. It's not that. I feel like that's you.
That and Pharrell Happy, because Pharrell used to be like I love Pharrell. He was like my spirit animal, and then Happy came out and it's like just so contrived and radio and stupid.
All right. Let me get this right. All right. Happy is one of the most universally liked songs because of its upbeat, uplifting message. Tune is great. Bruno Mars is fun music. That's if you dislike Bruno Mars, it says something about what's going on inside of you. So just out of just hearing two of the most popular songs that you just dislike, what's a song that you promote? I guarantee you some like killing babies. Like what are you listening to?
Like right now, our favorite, like Hey Mama, Kanye West, beautiful song.
Yeah. It's kind of in a dark turn because he made the song before his mom died, and then like the song was more popularized after she died, like when he did the VMA like tribute. So it's kind of a bittersweet song. Yeah,
I know we talked about music before. I think Juice WRLD would be my favorite music. I wish he didn't die. I think he has the best. Aside from his lyrics are a little dark, but the beat is the best beat that could happen. Like everyone's missing the boat. All rappers need to go copy his sound.
I never got behind this Juice Train thing, man. First of all, I didn't like his name. He's a Chicago rapper, like from the hood, but like his music was definitely like, I don't know if black people are listening to this, are they? I sit and cry on the ledge of my bed. I don't know what he's saying, but easier said than done. I thought she was that one. That's not music for us. Side note, have you heard of the word the Riz?
Like the word the Riz or just like Riz?
Riz.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did we talk about this yet or no?
No, but I also hate white people taking words like Riz and like other words. Like what's another like?
No, black people didn't come up with Riz. I can tell you that. That's not a black people came up with swag, lit, litty. Like a lot of the things that are like like Riz is definitely white. Like in a real way, they didn't even come up with nothing creative. Like you see Snoop Dogg and E40 talk, they bring a little lingo like changes of vowels and shit. Riz is just charisma. They just took the middle of the word and just left it alone. That sounds to me like a Chad or a Brian made that word up, bro. That's not, yeah. And then you got the Riz. Come on, bro. Get out of here. That's not it, bro. That's cultural appropriation.
Also, like slaps. I always hated slaps. And I feel like you only ever heard people, like white people over 30 say slaps. And you're like, you say it like 2 years too late, you know?
Nah, that shit slaps was a big banger for like rap songs. Like that shit slapping. That shit is...
But white people would say it, and they'd say it like 2 years later. You know, it was just kind of
like... Yeah, oh no, white people, they ruin it. They gentrify words and they ruin them.
Exactly.
Like woke. Woke was a strong, like it was, it was an Underground Railroad. Brother, is you woke? Are you aware of what's going on to you as a black man dealing with systemic racism? And then white people got in there were like, yeah, woke, everything. Woke means, yeah, if you don't smile at the autistic kids, you're not woke. And it's like, well, wait a minute, we've lost track here. Now, like, the Republicans got a hold there, like, we're going to end all this woke media. And I'm like, I don't think they necessarily know where woke came from. Woke was like, brother, you got to be woke. You got to break them chains that they got to your body and your mind. And so, yeah, white people gentrified the word woke. They gentrified slapping. They gentrified lit. They gentrified swag. And so, as black people, you can have Riz. I want you to create more Riz's. Let's just take other words and shorten them up, too. Like, let's do Ro. How about that? Ro's a good one. Instead of hero, be like, that's a guy's a Ro.
Yeah. That could be like Roe
Yeah,
v. Wade, though. That could go a whole bunch of different places.
make it your own, bro. Come on, white people,
Yeah.
put a little swag behind it, man. Give us some Benadryl bangers.
I think like the woke thing too, like also now my Republican friends are like, wake up to like the Biden stuff. And I'm like, wait, wasn't it bad to be woke? Now you want me to wake up? I'm just so confused. Like, can you just stay consistent with what's woke,
No,
what's awake?
you're still missing what woke is, all right? I have to
Hmm.
overemphasize this, all right? Woke, in its own term, is an illiterate way of saying, are you awake? Is you woke? Is a term of bad English, bad grammar. Woke
Mm-hmm.
was for black people to be like, are you aware? So when you say woke, yes, it does go to aware, but you can't just use it for everything, bro. That's not how it works. It's not how it works.
That's what I'm saying. Republicans were like doing they're like saying woke was a bad thing, and then now they're saying if you're awake, it's a bad thing because you're not awake to Biden. And I'm just
Bro,
like, pick one or the other. I'm not Republican or Democrat, but I'm just saying pick one or the other. That's it.
no, man. Go ahead. Tell us who you voted for, man. Put it on wax, man. Tell us who it is, man. Tell us all the way down the ballot.
Not gonna tell us, are you? Look at him. He knows what he's gonna vote for. He's not gonna tell me. Look, I was fucking my wife in the ass, right? Look, it was good.
No,
Whoa,
part of your
Jared,
question.
Jared, calm down with the voting.
Uh,
I'm Canadian, so I can't vote. So I always get to escape that question.
there you go. That's it. Yeah, there we go, man. Yeah. No, I mean, honestly, this year it seems to me like if you told people you didn't vote for Trump, they'd be like, "You son of a bitch," you know. So yeah,
Yeah.
even black people voted for him. I was like, "This is real wild." I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we'll talk sports. We got enough of the culture. We got enough of
Yeah.
the free Jay Z. Free my dog.
One quick thing on Jay-Z. I just don't like how it's a civil case. Like if he did something bad, then bring a criminal case. I think that's just ridiculous. A civil case, that's just
All
going
right,
after someone's
it's
name.
it's a shakedown. It's what it really is. And the
Yeah.
fact of like, to be honest with you, it discredits the Diddy case a little bit when the woman's like, at the like, they said that they reached out to Jay Z first to try to extort him. He said no,
Hmm.
so then they went public with it, and they just had this girl change her lawsuit to add Jay Z in it to it too. Where I'm like, well, damn, is she just changing her lawsuit like that? If she's not necessarily like, does that mean that Diddy may not did it either? And the lawyer
Yeah.
is a slime bag. He's trying to get rich off extortion. Like he did the same thing with Deshaun Watson. Now, don't get me wrong, Deshaun Watson, I can't defend 100% because there was some things that went down. But like, it was a civil case of like him paying off women. This Tony Bugsby guy does. And if you want to be famous, I'm gonna make you infamous. Is that what you want? You want to be rich? You want to be rich? This is how you want to do it by extorting people? Fuck you, Tony Bisbee.
That's fair. I'm with it. Yeah, I just don't like if someone did this to you, go criminal. Don't go civil. That people out there, it's ridiculous. Well, since you went to the University of Miami, I know this is close to your heart. Miami, I guess, shouldn't have made it in, but what do you feel about the college football playoff? Who's in that maybe shouldn't be? What are your overall thoughts before we dive into the bracket itself? And don't be
All
too
that
Miami
team.
biased.
No, no. I mean, if we're being honest with you, I'm glad we didn't
Yeah.
make it. If you watched us at all this season, we were going to get blown out when we got there. Our defense couldn't stop a cold. Our offense was really great, but at the end of the day, we lost a game that we should have easily won in Syracuse. So,
Hmm.
like, imagine we were playing Ohio State or
Yeah.
yeah, we're just not going to look good. So I'm not mad about it. Obviously, whoever's the 13th seed was going to be upset regardless. I'm just glad
Hmm.
Alabama didn't make it. That would have made me mad. All the teams suck. I feel like, yeah, even though you spread it out, like Boise State don't belong there, SMU don't belong there. Um, what's it called doesn't belong there. Arizona State, and even they got a bye. It's just to a point where
Hmm.
you're like, all right. At the end of the day, you know it's going to be. I mean, who has the easiest route? I think it's
Georgia.
Georgia has the
Crazy.
easiest route to.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, at this point, they're just doing this for money, and they're trying to be as fair as they can be. But I mean, if we keep going, then why don't they just keep extending us? Make it a 34 team bracket, huh? Let's do 32. Then
Yeah, I mean, 16 wouldn't be bad, but why don't you like Alabama over SMU? I think Alabama should go in over SMU, and Clemson you can't because they at least won the title, but
I think that that's SEC bias. They lost 3 games. 3 games is enough
yeah.
to be like your season's over. And they lost to Oklahoma, a team that's been terrible all year. So, like,
Hmm.
to me, that doesn't establish you as a dominant force that should get a chance at the playoffs. It's cool if you lost one game, like, oh, our quarterback was sick and
Hmm.
we lost one game by 2 points. Like, I understand that. Like, yeah, all right. But you lost 3 games and you got your ass whooped in one of them by a terrible team. You shouldn't get to the playoffs because of name brand recognition. And I mean, to be honest with you, Alabama's the reason why they created the playoffs because they snuck in last year and they kicked Florida State out. So yeah,
Hmm. But I mean, SMU they have 2 losses and they never beat a ranked team. They had something like the 75th hardest schedule, where Alabama had like the 13th hardest schedule. I just felt like I think
Yes,
Alabama would give a much, to your point, SMU's trash, you're going to get blown out. I'd rather see Alabama play Penn State than SMU play Penn State, or
I mean,
Alabama versus Georgia.
so they needed 5 SEC teams in there just because it's the SEC. I feel like Georgia made it. I feel like Tennessee
Yeah,
made it. They
Texas.
got their squads, and they're like, I don't understand why every
Yeah.
team from the SEC should get in because they're like, oh, our schedule's the toughest. You lost 3 games, don't get in there. I'm telling you, this Miami that lost 2 games. Like, we shouldn't be in the playoffs. If we were
Mhm.
good, we wouldn't have lost those games.
Yeah, but
If we
SMU
were
isn't good. SMU's trash. I agree. Like, there isn't Alabama
SMU,
worse trash or better
SMU beat
trash?
their schedule. They lost to BYU on a game that they should have won. If you watched the game, they like turned the ball over in the red zone 4 times, and then they
Mhm.
lost to Clemson. And honestly, if they would have got blown out, I don't think they would have made it. They almost came back and beat Clemson. So, like, in a
Yeah.
weird way, I don't think we fought SMU. And honestly, SMU was Miami. Like, 9 of their best players were all Miami last year. So,
Mhm.
in a weird way, it's like it's our clone little brother.
I think SMU is like, I want to Google it. I think it might be like the most expensive or one of the top private colleges, isn't it?
Well, yeah, they got the death penalty. I know they had to shut their program down because they were giving out so much money to players with boosters back in like
Mhm.
the 2000s or whatever.
So, yeah, SMU is one of the most expensive colleges in the United States, which I mean, I just think because they're, they're only 17th ranked nationally in 2022. But yeah, I just
Yeah,
think they have a ton of boosters because there's so much money in Dallas. I heard
in
like
Texas, yeah.
I had a friend who went there and like George Bush speaks at their inauguration. Like I just think there's so much money
Yeah.
flowing through SMU.
They say you
But
got to pray before you have sex out there, though. Like, it's mandatory that you can have sex there. Like, BYU can't have any sex, but at SMU, you have to
mm.
pray before sex,
Ooh, interesting.
which takes away a little bit of the spontaneity, right? One of those, like, little kind of, sexy Christian gay, like, get on the bed. And you're like, all right, let's
Yeah.
pray.
Can you do like a quick like sign of the cross, or you think you got to do like full on the knees, like say
I don't
prayers,
know. It's
like
probably like
Thanksgiving
a quick
dinner?
It's probably like a quick blessing over food, like da-da-da, and then you like get to it and
Yeah.
start eating.
Like thank you for this. What's about to happen here? This is beautiful.
When you pray, you gotta ask for thanks. You gotta say, Lord, thank you for letting me have this beautiful woman undressed in my
hmm
bed. And you gotta
hmm
ask what you want. I ask you give me the strength and the stamina to get the job done on her end as well as
hmm
mine.
hmm
And yeah,
I hope we don't have a baby out of wedlock because they believe in that. Yeah,
yeah.
that's
Lord,
fair.
let my semen be strong, but not so strong that it get the job done.
That makes sense. um, on the SMU front, the bye. I think they need to change. What changes would you have for the playoff? Because I know one, like Arizona State shouldn't have an automatic bye. I think that's stupid.
I mean, they won their conference, which I guess is kind of gives you an incentive to be like, even though we lost a game, we can still play hard.
hmm
Um, yeah, and then like you don't want to give it to 2 teams from the same conference or have buys. It kind of takes away a
Yeah,
little bit of the fun. So yeah,
I think they should have just. I don't know. It's
you know
that
what I
whole
you know what
bracket.
I don't like about it. They scheduled the rankings on what they thought would be the best games, not necessarily like the best teams. Like the fact that Boise State is like, who is Boise State playing?
They have a bye, but SMU, Penn State play each other. Indiana, Notre Dame
Yeah.
play each other. Tennessee, Ohio State.
Yeah, I just felt like they were strategically placing the games in a way that they can have the bracket play with like, well, who would be the most watchable? So they didn't let
Yeah,
like just yeah.
yeah.
Why
Because
did
I
you
feel
put
bad
tech?
for Oregon and Ohio State. Like Ohio State has the hardest game. I guess maybe Texas might be a little bit harder to play, but Ohio State has to play Tennessee. If they win, then they play Oregon, and then if they win, they play Texas. If you win, by who should win, which is
Yeah,
crazy. Where Georgia has Indiana or Notre Dame will murder them, and then Boise State or Penn State. It's just like so dumb.
yeah.
And then Ohio
Well,
State They beat Penn State and they beat Indiana, but they're like Ohio State has the hardest schedule out of those two. It's really dumb. That's my
really
thought,
dumb.
anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
who do
don't
you
know.
have
I
win?
mean, I'm kind of. All right. You don't know. To be honest with you, this is my bet. This is the weirdest thing ever.
Hmm.
Notre Dame is a lot better than people think. They lost that Northern Illinois game, and people thought that was there. But that's a clear, like, we're going to blow them out. We're not worried about them at practice. The scrubs are playing because they feel like they're going to
Hmm.
get in. And then it was Northern Illinois is like Super Bowl. They were like, yo, we get a chance to take down the big dogs. And they're still a good team. Like, they've always been competitive. But outside of that game, they've been dominant. They've been beating every team by like 35, 45 points. And Jordan Clark, one of my good friends, man, I work out with him in Arizona. Ryan Clark's son, he transferred from Arizona State there. I think there's a chance because if they win, they play Arizona State, and I think that's an easy route for them. I think they could easily win the
No,
first game. Then
Notre
what?
Dame plays Notre Dame plays Georgia if they win, so they got a hard. They have the
I think
worst road.
No, I think Georgia's very beatable. Georgia shouldn't have won that Texas game. I
Hmm.
think Georgia's the weakest it's been in years, and I do think Notre Dame wins it all. I think they take it all away.
That'd be a good value bet if you believe in it. That's for sure.
Yeah, put your money on it. And if you
All
don't get
right.
it back, we're on the Fraser LeVay podcast. Whatever you wager up to $2,000, if it loses, we'll give it back to you. The Fraser LeVay podcast will pay you back. You're going to receive a check from the Fraser LeVay podcast.
CC Jared on that invoice.
No. Just email Fraser. What's your email address, Fraser, so we can get this?
I don't think I have one. I think the internet went out and just lost lost everything.
Damn it. Well, what's your stepdad's? What's your stepdad's email address just so we can get
Yeah,
contact with you?
just go on Jared Quay on Instagram and
No, guys, don't reach out to me. I hardly check that, but check out $10,000 if Notre Dame doesn't win. Fraser LeVay podcast. Let's reach out to us. Make sure you follow and share.
Follow and share. Who do you have? Switching gears, the NBA Cup. Have you watched any of it? I haven't watched much, but
I thought that I just saw the ending of the Golden State versus the Rockets, and I thought, I have this conspiracy theory that the NBA's rigged, and like clearly Golden State was going to make it because last year the Lakers won it. This year the Golden State and Curry were winning because they're not going to win the finals. And they let them lose. Like it was almost like a 50-50 time in the rest. Like, this is a foul. And I was like, oh, wow.
yeah.
And so with that being the case, I think it's the Bucks here. The Bucks are going to beat the Rockets. Rockets are a sneaky good team. Like they have a bunch of they're a solid team. Like if you would put them like in a comparison of like women, they're a group of sevens. It's like if you had a group of sevens, you'd be like, yeah, there's some pretty girls over there. Let's get these bachelorettes over here. But but the Bucks are like two dimes and 17 sixes, 17 fives. Like Brooke Lopez is not a seven. Brooke Lopez is a 4 or 5 that hits threes. But Dame and Giannis are there, man. But Bobby Portis is a 6.
Yeah, I would say I like the Bucks because they're the best value if you're betting. But I mean, it's got to be the Warriors. The Warriors, the Thunder. The Thunder are killing it. But
No,
Houston is
I mean
nice.
you're just saying that because SGA, which honestly SGA just doesn't miss. How does he not miss? I'm like, this guy's just getting 35. It's an effortless 35. Like you're watching the game, you don't even realize he has 35 points. It's effortless. He's shooting threes, layups, and it's not like like Kobe used to work. And like even Dame, you're like, damn, Dame is hitting everything.
Yeah,
that guy is just effortlessly getting 35.
Right, and just many points in the paint. It's weird.
Is the Paul George trade the worst trade of all time?
It has to be up there. It's definitely one because they
gave up 7 7 picks in SGA to get Paul George.
Yeah, let me pull it up. I can't even find it. It's probably too hard to find, but it was something crazy.
Is that not nuts though? Like in a weird way. And then Paul George left after giving them like 3 mediocre seasons, and it was just like they got fleeced. And then like the owner got fired and Steve Ballmer's here and they bought a new stadium that no one knows how to get out there because it's in an area that's like not fully gentrified. It's like, it's in the initial stages, but like, it's not like there's people hanging out there like, oh, let's just go to the game,
Yeah. I was trying to look up, but I can't. So Jalen Williams, they got it. They got SGA. Danilo Gallinari. Then they have a 2024 first round pick, a 2026 first round pick. Yeah, it's crazy. I think it has to be one of the top, right?
Yeah. That's damn Paul George. They got fleeced, bro. But in a weird way, I kind of root for Oklahoma City Thunder. They have nothing in Oklahoma. There's nothing besides the Oklahoma Sooners. And then this team comes there to get to a championship. They draft so well because they had KD, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden. They went to the championship. They blew that team up. And then they came back that year with like Chris Paul and like all these guys, and they kind of get back there. And then now they rebuilt this superstar team from just drafts and good trades. So at the end of the day, OKC, let's go. Put Oklahoma on the map, baby. Name me one person that's famous from Oklahoma. Name me one person that's famous from Oklahoma.
I don't know. I can't think of any.
You think of that? Meanwhile, Canada has like 28 players in the NBA that are stars.
And 2 are in Two are in Oklahoma. So there we go.
Trey Young's from Oklahoma.
Is he? All right.
Yeah.
Troy Aikman, I think he's from Oklahoma.
Troy, is anyone ever think about this now that Jay-Z's in trouble and Troy Aikman looks like him? You ever feel? Could she have just been drunk? Could she be colorblind? No, I'm joking.
Yeah,
All right.
maybe. Want to know the worst trade in NBA history that I didn't know? I have shame on us.
Ooh.
The Hornets traded Kobe Bryant to the Lakers is the number one voted worst trade of all time in the NBA.
Why you say shame on us? Oh, just for not knowing that?
They're not pulling that up.
But that was a draft day trade, which is like
Yeah.
those trades aren't made like I saw this guy and I didn't want him. They're based on like, hey, if you get this guy for us before this other team does, we'll give you so and so. So that's not a bad trade. That was a draft day trade.
That's more an unlucky trade, but still, I mean, still bad.
It's really more of a bad draft. Yeah.
Unlucky. The Hawks traded Bill Russell to the Celtics as number 2 on this list.
Man, nobody care about that old shit. I hate talking about old basketball. I hate when people are like, Wilt Chamberlain was the best basketball player. You never saw Wilt Chamberlain play, bro. Get out of here.
Yeah. All right. Well, the Lakers trade for Russell Westbrook. That sent him back a bit. Or that's a newish one.
But that was kind of like it was for the city. Like it was the fact that he was from here, and it was like he was an MVP candidate. Like that's not a terrible trade. The Paul George trade is bad because they like literally got fleeced from there. Like probably one of the best rising stars for a guy who didn't do anything for him. You gave up that. If it was just Paul George to SGA, it would be a bad trade in its own right. But then you gave 7 like first round picks. So like it's
crazy.
terrible.
Yeah, and then anyway, for the NBA Cup, I think the OKC is plus 120 or something like that to win. Like they're huge favorites. Second,
I'm telling you, the Bucks, bro. The Bucks.
I'm doing that for the bet. They're plus 350, I think. So I think that's the best overall value bet is Bucks plus 350 because like if it was a series, if it was best of 4 and like those 4 teams and it was a 7-game series, I would take Oklahoma City hands down. But I think in a 1 game, how can you even bet anyone really? Like that's pretty tough just for a 1 game.
Who's gonna stop Giannis, bro? Remember when Giannis beat the Suns? He whooped the Suns' ass. I'm telling you. All right, we'll do 100 push-ups on it because it'll be over by the time
I'm gonna bet the Bucks just from the value standpoint, but I think Oklahoma City should win.
No, we're gonna do 100 push-ups. You're just saying it because they're all the Canadians on their team,
and they're the best team in the league right now. So there's that.
Yeah, but it'll probably they'll make it to the championship, but the Bucks. All right, come on, let's keep it rolling.
On the NBA Cup, though, I wish they would make it like first. What's the ending called? An Elam ending, where it's like first 101 wins. Like change up the rules a little bit, make it.
No, man, I'm tired. The NBA is losing their stuff. That's why all the viewership's down. Like even this NBA Cup shit is like, man, bring on the playoffs, bro. Nobody cares about this shit, bro. I don't care who wins this. Outside of gambling's what made middle of the like basketball would be done if it wasn't for gambling.
I mean, football would be done if it wasn't for fantasy football. So
no, football it's not enough games that you get tired of it. You're like every game kind of counts. Basketball, like if you watch it, they're just shooting 3-pointers. They don't care. They're benching their starters. The Brooklyn Nets will sometimes beat the fucking the Sun. And you're just like it's just not a serious sport. I feel like I'm watching people scrimmage. And I'm gonna be honest with you, NBA don't have it. They need storylines. They need another hero. Like they don't have enough rivalries. Like when there was Kobe versus LeBron and Kobe versus Jordan and Shaq and them beefing, that was like real storylines. What's a storyline now? Karl Anthony Towns is going against the Timberwolves. We need more shit talking, bro. They need to let Draymond choke somebody out every week. Draymond should just choke one player on every team just to keep the NBA relevant.
Do you think everyone is like just nice now? Like all the NBA stars pretty much like each other, right? Where before people hated each other, now everyone's like friends.
Well, they're just billionaires together, bro. Like if you're a billionaire, do you really beef? You're like, oh man, honestly, this is just a game. My mansion's right next to your mansion, and we share a baby mama.
Yeah,
we're both contributing to a baby mama.
A good rivalry that was happening, but it's kind of died down, was Luka versus Booker. They used to get into it, and I love that. I was on Team Luka.
They had one playoff run into, but now, like,
But I wish they kept on bumping heads.
The super team kind of ruined it too. I feel like I missed it when there used to be one guy taking on you. Like it was your guy versus their guy, and now it's like these super teams. Like, oh, KD's gonna go off this game, and Kyrie's gonna go off this game, and Clay. So I just
So the new CBA rules, it looks like you can't demand trades anymore because like what's his name, Jimmy Butler is saying like I want to go here, and literally Miami is like you can't. There's literally no way to trade you to. They can trade to like 2 teams because of you have to get the same amount of salary cap back and like same. it just makes it impossible to trade. So now I think we're going to see, because of that new rule and like the second apron and all that shit, way less trades and like forced trades. So you may get a bit of your wish is like less super teams.
Jimmy Butler is a trade. He's like, I mean, for lack of better words, he's a slutty player. Like he's just on every
Yes.
team. Yeah, you just see him. You can get the T-Wolf jersey of him. You get the Bulls jersey, the Philadelphia 76ers jersey,
Yeah.
the Miami Heat jersey, the Dallas Mavericks jersey. It's gonna be it's just too many Butler jerseys out there.
Did you watch Starting Five? I felt like he was great in it. He's just such an interesting dude.
He's an interesting guy. I mean, he's honestly one of my favorite players. If we're being honest, like it's just
Yeah.
morale. Like even when he was on the team with like Derrick Rose, and he was like Derrick Rose probably was like, "No, this is my team. This is my
Yeah.
team." I like that. I like that attitude.
Yeah, Jimmy's funny. I think he might be one of my favorite players after watching Starting Five. He's just, and he also thinks he's the best at everything, which I appreciate. So,
I
yeah,
think a part of being great is a little bit of like delusion. Like
exactly.
players, like I would be the best right now. I'm the best poker player, and I'll go to NBA and be the best. And you're just like, clearly,
Yeah.
this guy doesn't have any like cautious, rational thinking of like, well, these guys do this there every day of their life, and they're probably
Mhm.
better than me. So yeah,
Well, and
he's
that's what's
delusional.
weird is like Clay is also like the nicest superstar. So I can't imagine like what the real egomaniacs think. It's like they
Nah,
literally think
man,
they're the
get out
best
of
at
it.
everything.
Niceness is relative, man. Everybody you know, somebody's considered an asshole. Somebody's like, that guy's the nicest guy ever. And
Yeah.
sometimes Calais is smiling and kissing babies, and he's like, answer my phone call, Calais. Answer my phone call, bitch.
Oh. Oh. What was I gonna say on that? No. Oh, I forget. Oh, Eli Manning. Do you think Eli Manning, in his heart of hearts, thinks he's like the greatest of all time? He's like, no, fuck Tom Brady. I beat him twice. If you gave me Gronkowski and Edelman and Bill Belichick, I'd be a 5-time. Like, you put me on the Patriots. Like, do you think he's like
I,
inside? Like, you get him drunk. And he's like a full
Eli,
egomaniac.
Eli has to know in his heart of hearts he's a terrible quarterback. He has to know. He has to know he's just lucky. He did a Ouija board. He drew a star on the ground and sold his soul, and he won those 2 championships. But like his record, like he's not even a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yeah. Do you have to put him
I
in the
mean,
Hall
look,
of Fame because he won 2 Super Bowls?
I mean, if that's the rules, if you win 2 Super Bowls, and it wasn't like
Mm,
he was like balling, like he put some crazy numbers up. Nick Foles won
yeah.
a Super Bowl. Does that mean Nick Foles is in the playoffs?
Yeah. No, I get you on the in the Hall of Fame. That makes sense. For the are you looking up right
He's.
now?
I'm looking up his accolades. He's the Walter Payton Man of the Year award and a 4-time Pro Bowler. That's all he
Mhm.
has. And he's a 2-time Super Bowl champion, 2-time MVP. And both of those against Brady. And like in a weird way, he had some dark magic, like helmet catch or some bullshit
Yeah.
happen. Eli Manning is actually cooler than you think. I saw him at a Pro Bowl one time, and he was just sitting there throwing footballs at kids with a beer in his hand in the pool with his hat on. And I was like, he's kind of cool in the
Yeah.
relative sense. But just overall, I'm not going to act like Eli Manning's some kind of like
Yeah.
amazing football quarterback. He's the white Jameis Winston. That's what I feel like he is.
James has like the worst. I love James Winston, but he's like 25-70 for a career record. So I think he's a bit better than that.
But he's so entertaining. Like
Oh, likable.
he's like
Yeah, yeah.
he's not even just likable. He's like either he's gonna throw a touchdown or an interception.
Oh, yeah.
The over is always a play with James Winston in play. It's just fun. Like I mean, I hate quarterbacks that just system guys that hand the ball off. Like that offense
Mm.
when Deshaun Watson was on it was painful to watch. But with Jameis, it's like either they're gonna score or they're gonna throw a pick six. But like either way, they're getting the ball back. You know.
Yeah. So there was a stat where he had 170 yards to the Broncos, and Deshaun Watson only threw for 170 yards like 3 times in the last year to his own team.
That's
And,
crazy.
and then if you
Yeah.
included his yards to the other team, he would have set a record for the most passing yards in a game. So really, he's kind of has the most passing yards in an entire game. He's the greatest.
No, and you know what I think is because he's such a religious guy. I think he's just operating off faith. He's like, God's not gonna let them intercept this, and he's just throwing the ball. He's just throwing it. He's just like, yeah, they're covered, but God got me, and he just
Yeah.
letting it go.
It's like he's like a Jedi, but for God. He's like just closing his eyes. He's like, nah, God got me.
Yeah.
He's using the
Meanwhile,
Force.
Deshaun Watson's passing the ball like, I don't think it's gonna work, God. I don't think it's gonna work. And James is
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
he throws the ball.
That's 100% true. I also think he point shaves. I think he's underground point shaving. He's in big with some bookie, and he's just point shaving left and right.
I don't know. In a weird way, he seems like he's like country dumb. Like he's smarter than you think, but he gives off dumb. Like he doesn't give off like It does. James Winston
Yeah.
doesn't give off, and I don't want to. Maybe I'm being racist to my own kind. He don't look like he's reading books every night. You just don't see him like. I just finished this nonfiction book that about how to
Yeah.
say no, and and I hope I'm not like I hope I'm not saying that in a bad way because I'm like that's not the case. And James might watch this. I love you, James, but it just seems to me like he doesn't seem like he'd be the kind of quarterback that's like would know how to properly point shave. To be like, oh, I'm gonna let this team score 2 touchdowns and then we'll get behind it. And I'm gonna start coming back. It looks like I'm trying hard. I just feel
Yeah.
like. But if you watch the Broncos game that last one, that was like the Monday Night Football game. They
Mm.
should have covered the spread 15 times. And Jameis was like, "Nah, we're not covering the
No.
spread.
No. Here's the ball back. Touchdown. That's all.
Not on my watch, my G. Not on my watch." So
And
maybe I don't know.
and that's why he goes and beats the Steelers. And then he's like, the next game he's like, oh, you think I'm going to cover this? Fuck no, we're losing by like 30. He's got an alt spread on it, like plus 14 he's betting on. Oh my God, he's
That's what
point
he's
shaving
like.
left and right.
He likes to see where the lines are. Where's the money at? In a weird way, he's not point shaving. He's just a villain. He's like, I want America to lose their money so they can see what it's like to live in Tallahassee in West Alabama.
Exactly. And that's why he's like a genius, but he's playing this God stuff where it's like, oh, everyone loves me. He's making you look over here while he's stealing your money over here, you know?
But he's still a hero. Like when you think about it, like, all right, let's name 3 heroes and 3 villains of the NFL. Like when you think of a villain, who would you say is a villain in the NFL?
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers is definitely a villain, right? He's just
Mhm.
not. He's like
Mhm.
he probably thinks he's doing he's right, but it's hard to like him. Who else is a villain?
Do you think, I was going to
Bill
say, like, Bill Belichick? Okay.
Bill Belichick's a villain. He's a villain in the
Yeah.
sports world, even though he's gotten cooler since he's retired. He's like got a young woman. He's like on Instagram and he's like
Yeah.
laughing and giving praise to Ed Reed. But like when he was a coach, he just never said anything, and he's like he's cheating. He's fucking cheating. So
I wonder if his girlfriend's like jealous that he's going to college because now he's like scouting again. You know, he's like,
nah,
she's going to
he
get
could just
tossed away.
no. I could just tell he's gonna be at a party. There's gonna be a picture of Bill Belichick at a house party. I just know it. He's gonna come out.
That's what I'm saying. His girlfriend, his little young 20 whatever year old girlfriend's not going to be happy. He's back in college and he's scouting other girls. I'm just saying.
Nah, Bill Belichick's old enough now. He might get cucked. He might like it.
You might like it. Who's another villain? I'm trying to think. Devontae Adams has been a dick, but that one's kind of easy.
Yeah, but he's also with Aaron Rodgers. Let's find someone else that's a villain.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm trying to think who the
eh,
annoying. Who's people don't like the kicker for Kansas City. Harrison Butker.
this is because he went on a full like
Mm,
abortion should be illegal.
yeah.
You know who's actually a villain this year? Justin
Who?
Tucker. Justin Tucker.
Ooh. I don't think he's a villain. I think he's like a hero that's losing. He's that's getting the shit beat out of him.
No, he used to be so great doing little dances, and then he got so good, and then he started missing, and he's not even like making like amends for it. Be like, guys, I'm so sorry. I don't know what I was going on. He's just like, you guys don't know what it's like to kick, and you're just like, yo, bro, just fucking make the field goals. Like they would be undefeated if he just made field goals, and he's not coming with any remorse and being like, guys, it's on me. I'm taking accountability for this. He's like ignoring it, and I just feel like he's becoming a villain. I like dropped him from my fantasy team. We can't have this kind of shit on here.
I guess so.
Heroes.
And also,
You know who's a hero though? T. Higgins.
Why?
He's like tweeting, even like he's trying to get people their bets. He's like trying to get prop bets, and like, and then when he fails, he's like, "I know, guys, I'm sorry," and just taking ownership. He came back. He's helping them win. Like, I like T. Higgins right now. He's not even going to be on the team next year. He's just doing it. He's taking the hammer. I feel like he's a hero for that. He's a row.
Ooh, he's a row. I like that you even use your row in there. I think white people love Josh Allen as the hero. That's a simple one,
Josh
right?
Allen's a villain. He's a villain. He's a villain.
I think he's
had
only
a whole little thing center. There was like a clips of him like under the like fucking with players under the pile and shit. He doesn't slide, which is a dickheaded move as a quarterback because you know they can't hit you. So not sliding is also like double wedge. Like it's almost like a woman beating you up as a man. You're like, you know, I can't hit you back, and that's what Josh Allen's doing. So no, he's a villain. He's on a villain. He's a villain for sure. Yeah.
Who's like another happy Jaden Daniels? He's like a fun, smiley guy. He could be a hero.
Definitely. I think Jaden's a hero. Who else is a hero?
Geno Smith, maybe?
He doesn't say enough. You need to smile and be in front of mirrors
Yeah.
to be a hero.
Caleb
Trevor Lawrence
Williams.
is a villain.
Yeah, Caleb
No,
Williams has been a bit of a villain.
no. Yeah, Caleb Williams and Trevor Lawrence are villains. Yeah,
Yeah.
we need another hero. How we can't come with a hero? There's got to be
Oh,
a quarterback hero.
Sam Darnold, I would say, but he doesn't talk a lot, so maybe not.
Sam Darnold follows me on Instagram.
Ooh,
I just
really?
feel like, yeah, I got like a couple people that you would never guess follow me on Instagram. Like the Bronze Bomber follows me. Sam Darnold. Just weird.
Ooh,
I met him. I met him at a Verizon event, and he was like hanging out backstage, and he just followed me on Instagram, and he kept doing it. So that's why every time I post anything, I just make sure I say good things about Sam Darnold. Because
yeah.
shout
I
out
mean,
to you, Sam.
Sam, I want you to know, since I'm sure you're watching, I had you ranked to be a top 15 quarterback this year. Everyone had you ranked 28th. I was like, the breakout player of the year, Sam Darnold. And here we are.
If you can go back and get footage, but you won't because you need an actual producer. I at the
Yeah.
beginning of the year said this is going to be a year he balls out because it's like he has nothing to lose, right? He's already been
Hmm.
on two teams and didn't phased out, so this is his last opportunity to really show what he has. So balls against the wall, and he's showing it. Like I don't think he's going to be the quarterback of that team next year because they got obviously McCarthy,
Hmm.
and I think there's a lot of options. But I definitely think that like he's going to be a starting quarterback somewhere else. He's on the Geno Smith territory. Like he's going to be a Geno Smith somewhere. Maybe even the
That's why
Niners. I think the
I
Niners
think
need
he
to move
stays
on
with the
pretty.
Vikings. I think the Vikings sign him. Hopefully, you get like a Geno Smith or a Baker Mayfield hometown discount because he loves Kevin O'Connell. He wants to stay. This is the first time he's been appreciated. And then we keep JJ for a while, and either we trade him for like a late first round pick or an early second round pick. But I think we keep Sam Darnold. I guarantee he's a Vikings player for the next 2 years.
Wow. Yeah, no, I thought the opposite, but that's your team. It's your team. It's
Yeah,
your squad.
because why would
And
you risk it, right? If he's got everything that you kind of want, he can move around surprisingly. He has a
yeah,
rocket arm.
the reason why you do it is that having a quarterback on rookie contract seems to be the formula to winning Super
Hmm.
Bowls. And so if you
Yeah,
can build around JJ McCarthy more than you can build around Sam Darnold, and so that's why. But yeah,
but I think if you can get him on like a decent contract, but yeah, if we have to pay him Jared Goff money, then we're fucked. Absolutely.
yeah.
All right. Who are your four teams that can win the Super Bowl? Like, just gun to your head, you can only pick four.
I think the Chiefs are gonna win the Super Bowl this year on a
Ooh.
three-peat on some like nobody's really gonna be excited for them to win except for the 38 fans inside of Kansas City. Um, I think they'll play the Ravens in the playoffs and beat them again because that rivalry is becoming fun. I think the Bills will get there this year. They're going to get their shot with the Chiefs too. So the Chiefs will beat the Bills and the Ravens, which would be
Hmm.
kind of a exciting thing to do. Coming out the other side is going to be between. I think the Lions fizzle out. I think they're clearly the favorites right now for the NFC,
Hmm.
but they got too hot too quick, and I think they're going to have their bad. They're going to have their like week 15. They're going to get blown out probably. And then week 16 and 17, they'll win maybe close ones. And then when they get to that actual like first wild card game, they're gonna end up losing to the Saints or some stupid team that shouldn't even be in the playoffs.
I'm with you actually on all those takes. I think the Lions, just their coaching, their injuries, I can see them blowing it. Like, sure, they may make the conference championship or divisional round, but I just don't see them going all the way. So
And then yeah,
who'd you
and
say
then
going all the way?
I think the Eagles. It's gonna be the Eagles probably at the NFC again. And I think that Dan Campbell's big balls, them fucking heavy
Mm,
ass kettlebells he has hanging from his scrotum are gonna bite him in the ass come playoffs. You can't keep doing that going for it on fourth shit. When it
exactly.
works, it's great, but eventually somebody's gonna just like 14 point swing your ass.
Yeah, well, and like you said, one game fine, but by 4 games or 3 games in the playoffs to win the Super Bowl, one of these times is not going to work, and you're going to lose, just like what happened last year. I'm completely with you on
Yeah.
that. Who else do you like? Who's your second team in the NFC?
Mm, honestly, you got to go with the NFC North. That seems to be a
Mm,
very difficult. I think the Packers are still good. The Vikings are good. Those teams will compete. They're all going to go to the playoffs somehow. So I'm saying that it's either the Eagles or one of the other teams in the NFC North.
mm. Yeah, I like want to trust the Vikings, but I just anytime I ever trust the Vikings, they just break my heart. So I don't
Yeah,
really want to
they're gonna
trust them.
miss it. They're gonna miss an extra point to lose, right? They're gonna get they're
Exactly.
gonna come back down 21 points and then miss the extra point. You're just like that's
It's
the Vikings for you.
it's going to be some sort of like heartbreaking shit too. Like Justin Jefferson's going to drop the ball for like a safety on the one, something, or just for a touchback up from the one, something crazy.
As Jamar Chase passed him as the best receiver in the NFL.
Dude, Jamar Chase is so crazy. I was saying this like to Blaze. It looks like he steps on the Mario Kart like little arrows and he just darts ahead of people. He's so
Yeah, you're
fast.
right.
He looks faster than Tyreek Hill. It's just, and he's powerful. Oh my
But
god,
when you really think of it, you just think about how good that team was at LSU when they won the championship. Like they
crazy.
had guys that like if the NFL corners can't cover them, what makes you think some guy from Vanderbilt is going to lock down them? Like
No doubt. Who else was on that team aside? There's JJ Chase. Wasn't there like two other legit guys too?
there was uh there was a guy named Terrence Marshall, I think.
Okay, yeah. Who's the running back was a stud too, wasn't it? You looking it up?
I'm looking at their football roster right here, man.
Mm.
That was 2022, right?
And they also had I feel
No,
like a tackle or two that was outrageous.
was that
That'd be
2020
2020.
or 2022?
Might have been 2020. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up too. I don't know. Maybe even 2019 to be honest, because if
Yeah, I
Burrow
think
was
that
on
was
it,
20. Damn, Burrow, because they already got big contracts. Yeah, Burrow's
yeah.
on it. Okay. All right. They had Terrence Marshall was one of their starting receivers who made it to the Carolina Panthers for a little bit.
Hmm.
Um, let's see. They had Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. Running backs, they had Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Um, you know, it's cool. You go on Wikipedia, you can just they become blue when they make it to the NFL, so you can click them and learn about them.
Yeah. Oh,
Thaddeus Moss was there.
they had Devin White on defense.
Yeah. Patrick Queen on defense.
Ooh. Foster Moreau at tight end. I mean, that's a nice little setup.
Yeah, and Derek Stingley.
Wait, Jonathan Giles in 2018 won the Blitnikoff Award. So their best wide receiver at one point on a team that both those studs wide receivers played for. The best wide receiver was Jonathan Giles. Doesn't that sound weird?
But that was the year before, and I don't even know who that guy is. That sounds to me like someone.
No.
You look at Wikipedia because sometimes Wikipedia is just people fucking with shit, and they're just like, you know,
Yeah, I think that is actually screwed up. I
some
think it's completely wrong.
someone's he's your father, he owns you.
All right. The end. Oh, there's a Jonathan
Yeah.
Giles. This can't be right. Jonathan Giles could not have worn the Blitnikoff. Someone's screwing around. But yeah, no, you're right.
No, did he?
There's no way. Sorry, everyone. We're just looking at shit.
Man, by the time they watch, you should have just edited it out. But no, you're not. You're not. Hey, there's a guy named Greedy Williams, but you know what's crazy? His name is Andres. He just goes by Greedy. How do you get a nickname Greedy? That doesn't sound like something you should be proud of, huh?
No. Yeah, someone screwed around with Wikipedia. You're right. He went to Texas Tech, and he was a 1,000-yard receiver.
He's Michael Crabtree.
He was basically Michael Crabtree. Yep.
There we go.
Huh.
Michael Crabtree.
Uh,
All right, Frazier, we got to get
who do you,
going. I gotta.
all right.
What else are we talking about here? We're gonna do games, or we
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah, I was gonna say, who are your top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL? I want to get through real quick.
All right, Josh Allen has to be on there because he's playing unreal right now. Lamar
Mhm.
Jackson is probably. I think they're gonna make sure Josh Allen gets it because he has never got one. And you don't want to give
Mhm.
Lamar 3, but I think Lamar's the most valuable player right now, easily. Uh, I'm not even putting Pat Mahomes in my top 5. You gotta earn that shit, bro. Just because you what you used to do. He's not good this year. He's not. You tell me he's
Mhm.
good, I'm gonna tell you you're full of shit. They've been scoring like 17 points. That's all they can get.
I think he's just
Uh,
playing like he's keeping his keys in the garage. He's just doing what he needs to do. He's staying healthy.
yeah, he doesn't care about stats no more. He's just like, let's just get to the playoffs so I can start
Exactly.
showing off.
So he's still
But
the same guy, but he's just chilling.
when he does that, I'm gonna give Burrow there, man. Burrow, even though their team is trash, it's not because of Burrow. So
Mhm.
we're gonna go Burrow. We're gonna go Josh Allen. We're gonna go Lamar Jackson. We're gonna go.
Mahomes. Oh
Uh,
yeah. Mahomes.
no, I'm not putting. Fuck it. I'm gonna put my dog on it, man. We're gonna put Kyler Murray on there. Kyler Murray's been looking good. He's been looking good.
I don't know.
You just
He
don't like
hasn't
him
looked
because
at
he played.
the last couple of weeks. He hasn't done too well.
Yeah, he's also
That's
like 5'6", bro. Like, give him a break,
exactly.
man. The shit he's able to do, people don't realize. Josh Allen's sitting there at 6'30". I mean, 6'4", 245 pounds. While
Mhm.
meanwhile, Kyler Murray looks like your little sister. And so,
Mhm. Yeah,
yeah,
he's so tiny. Bryce Young's been looking nice. Obviously, he's not top 5, but I'm glad he's bringing it back around.
I see somebody said it was like maybe the Bears lost the trade and whatever. uh, Yeah,
Who are
no.
speaking of the Bears, who are like the most dire quarterback situations? Like, what teams have the worst future? I'm gonna give you the Raiders. I'm gonna
Yeah,
give you
you
the
know, Connor's
Titans.
not it.
The Titans are
Yeah,
in
Will
there.
Levis in there.
The
The
Jets are in
Jaguars,
there.
I don't think Trevor Lawrence is the solution at all. He looks like he's getting
Mm-hmm.
worse. He's regressing.
Mm-hmm. The Giants are in there. The Jets,
I
I
heard the
said.
Giants are gonna take Cam Ward. That's what
Ooh.
I could be wrong. I saw a clip of Nevin Shapiro, the guy who snitched on Miami, talking about he had contact with the GM, and if they get the first overall pick, they're taking Cam Ward, and they're gonna hire the offensive coordinator, who's the offensive coordinator for the Canes right now. And let me do some googling with that because I'm like, is Nevin Shapiro in prison still or no?
You're saying who's taking him? Who's
The
taking Cam
Jet,
Ward?
the Giants are
Jets.
gonna take Cam Ward.
Jets. Ooh. One. Do you have any insider info on Cam Ward? Because I just saw he was like an unranked prospect, right? Isn't he like one of the best up and coming stories in college football?
Uh, yeah, no, he was good last year. Like, people thought he could have went out last year when he was at Washington State because he made them very competitive, and so he was one of the top recruits to go like to another school. And then at Miami, he just proved to be everything everybody thought he was. And so I think it's between him or Shador that's going to be the top quarterback off the board. And
Hmm.
yeah,
But him in high
uh,
school, he wasn't like he was like not even on a ranked anything. I don't think, right?
no, he was. I think he went to a third. I forget the first school he went to because he went to a school before he went to Washington State. So he's just been traveling. He's been just going places.
Hmm.
Um, he's from Texas though, so Texas, people you can be from the smallest school in Texas, no one ever knows.
Yeah.
He went to Incarnate Word. Is that
Ooh.
is that a real school?
Yeah. I only ever hear about it in basketball. They're like always like a random team that almost makes the Sweet Six, or sorry, makes the
They
final.
just
Not
seem like that
much
name seems
better.
like a bunch of inmates, like a longest yard situation where just let the
Yeah.
inmates play college football.
Yeah. Where even is that incarnate word?
That can they put university or something on it? It just doesn't. It seems to me like it's something that you like explicit word. Incarnate. What does incarnate mean?
It's a private university in San Antonio.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
like
where
what?
he's from. So
That's crazy.
if you want to know something that's cool about it, from just a quick Google search, they have a 94% acceptance rate and a 54% graduation rate. So it
Is
doesn't,
that
doesn't seem like it's the greatest school.
and incarnate? That's something like God, right? I think it means like God, and it's a God word. Like it means God or some version of that. Interesting.
Yeah. Dang, Miami has an acceptance rate of 19% and a graduation rate of 82. Just to
Really,
show you.
I would have thought the
Yeah.
opposite. I would have if you took incarnate word and if you took Miami and flipped them, I would have thought that.
No, Miami's like full of like
I'm
rich
just
kids.
kidding.
It's like
Yeah,
it's a
that's true.
private resort, bro. I don't know if you. I remember how good we had it. Women would just be out there coming to class with a little sundress on with a little bathing suit underneath, and you just like, you expect me to study when goddamn Maria's sitting here with that body banging like that? The fuck out of my face, Mister Bright.
This is what blows my mind that USC and UCLA aren't better football programs and basketball programs. Like you think they should be able to get the greatest players across the country, like them, Miami, Florida. Actually, not
It's
Florida. Florida's in
just
the shithole.
it's too
Miami and
busy. Like Miami's still like the talk of the town of Miami. Like
hmm.
SC, they got the Lakers, they got the Rams now. It's too much competition. Like no one really goes to SC games. Like unless you're alumni, nobody's like, let's go check out the SC game. So
Hmm.
like yeah, they kind of fell off. And so I feel like as a top recruit, you're not looking to go to the LA schools anymore.
Like that's so. Is that what would you rather be? The top dog in Norman, Oklahoma, and free dinners and everyone loves you, or USC and you get to be in LA, the greatest one of the best cities if you're rich to
No,
live in the United
all right.
States.
This is as I made this mistake, man. I remember when I left Colorado, I was like, I want to go to a big city. I don't want to be in no college town. And then I
Hmm.
went there and I realized I missed out on an era, bro. You only get 4 years of college, and if you really get 3 years, and you want to go to like cow tipping wood parties, like Penn State, like you want to go to a school where like all you do is party, and like everybody knows that like you don't get in trouble because you're the people there. I was in Miami, and I just remember being like, why am I at a nightclub trying to like, how am I going to convince this grown woman to come back and sign in my dorms? You don't want them kind of problems, bro. Like, that's not the problems you want. So
Yeah,
go, if you're a young recruit watching the Frazier LeVay podcast, first go bet the Bucks to win the championship, the World
NBA
Cup,
Cup.
NBA Cup. and Frazier will reimburse you to $10,000. And if you're getting recruited, go to that small school so you can go have a good college experience. LA ain't going nowhere, and once you're rich, you'll enjoy it better anyways.
I mean, but like, if you were on the Caleb Williams level, did he have a house like on Manhattan Beach? What was his life like?
Bro, no, bro, I'm telling you, I saw Shador Sanders give one of his linemen a Maybach in Boulder, Colorado. Like, I don't even know how you get a Maybach there. You gotta ship it in.
Yeah.
There's not a Maybach store.
No.
That's the life you want. You want to be in a small town with a Maybach. You don't want to be riding around LA and like sitting there next to Magic Johnson on a stoplight, like, oh, we both got the same car, huh? That's not what you want, bro.
All right. I think I would still go to USC, but teach their own.
Yep. All right. I gotta run. I gotta go.
Okay.
This podcast is over.
Well, do you have a quick bet of the week or parlay of the week you want to give before we take off?
All right, I'm gonna give you guys, and this is gonna hit. So clip this after it does it. All right.
Yeah.
I'll give you guys a 5-team parlay, and it's gonna hit. This is with massive amount of research here coming into this. All right.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We're gonna take the Browns +3, +4. We're gonna take the Saints +7.5. We're gonna take the Jaguars +3.5. We're gonna take the Broncos -4. And we're going to take the Buccaneers +3. Did you get that?
Interesting. Yeah. All
Three,
right.
three dogs. All right. And then once you make that money, guys, if you don't make that, if that doesn't hit, remember to email Frazier LeVay.
Yeah.
There's no I in it.
No.
And like, comment, and share. And if you lose that bet, up to $1,000, we will. This podcast will reimburse you guys. Frazier LeVay.
Perfect. All right. Well, Jared Quay, enjoy your day. I miss you. I hope to see you soon.
Thank you, brother.
All right. Bye.